Yo, as always, like, share, subscribe. Now let's just get into it. So, Michigan will play Ohio State this Saturday, 12 o'clock in Ann Arbor, probably on ABC. Now, I just made a video about the defense against OSU's offense. Now, this will be Michigan's offense against Ohio State's defense. Now, with Ohio State's defense, no, their stats aren't that great, except maybe their rush defense. They're 26 in rushing yards, giving up 100 yards a game. Passing yards, they give up 250. But these numbers can be skewed because they're up in most of their games. So you have to pass to try to keep up with them, and that in turn makes it so you can't run the ball. But I mean, we saw what they did. Like Kenneth Walker, after 3 drives, it was a wrap for him. Like, you down 21 and counting. Like, you can't run the ball. They say he got banged up, but even when they tried to run him, like, they were on his head. Like, wasn't no spinning and all that, cut back, and it wasn't that. They wasn't going for it. So, with that being said, the Michigan offense is for going against them, it's basic because, and I'm not saying it's our offense is basic, but the game plan is basic for teams going against us because they know we want to run the ball. We got baby Bo Schembechler coaching, so we're gonna try to run the ball. Now, just like the Michigan State game and the Penn State game, well, not really Penn State since Haskins had like 150, probably ran for like 200 probably. But this is a game where it's on Cade. I don't think we're going to be able to run consistently on them. Now, I said that against Penn State and I was wrong. I'd love to be wrong again. Best believe I'm just telling you what I think. So I don't think we'll be able to run against Ohio State, not consistently enough to keep up with them. So this game is probably going to be a game where Cade is going to have to. You want to be that dude. You want to have the accolades. You want to. This is my team. This is the game. This is the game, bro. This is the game right here. You could be a legend. As far as Michigan, I know other people are going to watch this. Yeah, it'll make him a legend. We ain't talking about your team or nothing. We talking about Michigan. He beat Ohio State. To us, he going to be a legend. So just know that. So this is going to be on him. He's going to have to hit deep throws. One, he's going to do that so Haskins and Corum and these boys can get some space and they not running in the 8-man fronts all the time. Because that's what they gonna do. They're gonna have 8 in the box, and these dudes they not stacking 8 in the box with 3 stars and 4 stars and just 4 stars. They got 4 and 5 stars stacking the box most of the time. So these dudes are elite athletically. So like I said in the other video, the margin for error is small because the defense is going to give up some points. You have to keep up with them. And if the defense is holding them, you're only going to hold Ohio State down for a certain amount of time. So if we are holding them, the defense is holding them down, Michigan has to be putting up points. So Cade, I know Cade is great dinking and dunking. He's good dinking and dunking. But to open up the run game, he's going to have to stretch the field so they pull that safety back. And now Haskins and Corum and Edwards can get some yardage in the running game more consistently. Now, we've seen teams, Minnesota in the first game with Ishmael was running it down their throat, but that was a different scheme. They're not running the same scheme. They're running zones most of the time now. Ohio State runs zones, so that's a different scheme. but you still have to get yards in the run game. The offensive line, they're gonna have to play their best game of the year. Just like I said, the D line. Our offensive and defensive lines are gonna have to play their best games of the year. Because it's not Haskins against their D line. It's our offensive line against their D line. So these dudes gonna have to make holes for them. If not, it's gonna be on Cade. It's gonna be on Cade. He gonna have to keep these drives going, and make plays. Like I said, this is a game for playmakers. So Corum, Haskins, Cade, Edwards, Cornelius Johnson, Andrell Anthony, Roman Wilson. This is a game for y'all. You got to make the plays. CJ, if you dropping passes and doing all that nonsense, you just go sit down, bro. This ain't the game for you if you're gonna be making mistakes. This ain't the game to be making no mistakes. So you have to hit on when there's a deep pass, if they have a breakdown in coverage, or if Gaddis just schemes up a great play deep, Cade has to hit that pass. The chess match, I believe, will be Harbaugh's going to want to try to eat up clock in the running game and just having long drives like we normally do. But when our offense gets stagnant and we get 3 and outs, that's not helping our defense. So you have to, the offense and the defense are going to, the offense is going to have to complement the defense and keep the defense off the field. Keep Ohio State's defense on the field. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see more like you saw Donovan Edwards in the passing game and things like this, or Corum in the passing game. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot of that type of stuff. Now, the offensive line, it's not just about the run game, creating holes in the run game, but also the pass blocking. Now, the pass blocking, Ohio State's got a good D-line. They probably lead the Big Ten in sacks, I believe. It's not just one player. It's more of a total D-line just getting sacks. So, with that being said, if Cade is getting sacked and you see that they need help, then you're going to have to give them help. That you're going to have to leave in 2 backs to pass block. You're going to have to put in extra tight ends to pass block. That's just what you're going to have to do. Because if you're getting sacked and the way they are, you could be strip sacks. And they hungry. They going to pick it up and score with it. They ain't just going to dive on it. So things like this are things that have to be done to beat these dudes. You have to have some consistent drives and hitting on some chunk plays sometimes. Because you're not just going to be able to have these long drives, drive after drive. You're going to have some big plays in there also. So it's just crucial that they do create running lanes for the running backs, so Cade doesn't have the whole pressure of this game on him. I'm not sure if he's good enough to handle that. I'm just being 100. I'm not sure if he's good enough to handle that. I know we saw in Michigan State, but we have to take the Michigan State game with a grain of salt because Michigan State has one of the worst pass defenses in the country. And then in the end, you had 2 drives to win the game, and you didn't get it done for whatever reason. I know CJ dropped some passes. He dropped some passes, but Cade tried to pass. It got intercepted when he had a drag route that was wide open to Corum. Didn't throw it. So he's going to have to make plays. Like, regardless of if the running game is cooking, Cade is going to have to make plays. These wide receivers, this ain't the game to drop passes. Like, it's just crucial. And Gaddis is going to have to scheme up some big plays, chunk plays. this game is about execution. So throwing in the zone, because Ohio State runs a lot of zone. You're going to have to throw into these zones, find the holes in the zone, try to stretch the zone out. Try to stretch it out and hit these guys in between these zones. Like the offense is not as, the offense against their defense isn't as great as our defense against their offense. So, but it's about being consistent, because the defense is gonna give up some plays and some points. It's about the offense not getting so far behind that now all of a sudden you down 21, so you can't run the ball at all. Harbaugh will still be trying to run it and killing the clock on himself. So you have to keep pace with them. If the defense is getting them to punt or making them kick field goals, you have to be getting touchdowns, because it's only a matter of time before Ryan Day figures out what we're doing on defense and then starts getting points. So the offense has to consistently getting points, consistently getting yardage and getting points. Not 3, getting 7. You're going to have to consistently get 7. We've seen us hang with them early in games, but then we'll kick a field goal or 2, and then we start getting down, and then second half they just turn it on and we can't keep up. So it's about touchdowns. The same thing we've been talking about all year. You have to get these touchdowns and not be predictable. Not be predictable in these 3rd and shorts. So now you're in a 4th down situation. You know you're going against Ohio State, so you're going to want to go for it. And you putting it at chance. Going for it on 4th against a good team, you putting it on chance, but you have to go for it against them because their offense is so good, prolific. So you can't be predictable in 3rd and shorts and things like this, or if it is a 3rd and 1, you taking your time to huddle up and it's obvious you're about to run it, and then you get smacked 2 yards in the backfield. You have to change up some of your scheme and your play calling to keep them off balance. So instead of going on 3rd and 1, you just going with your usual run up the middle, you do a play action pass, or you do a RPO, or you do a play action bootleg rollout, something like that. Try to get somebody in the flat to a tight end or running back, something like that. You can't be so predictable on these certain downs, or that you're going to be in bad situations. You're going to be in bad situations. You don't want to have to be going for it on 4th and 1 and 4th and 2 all the time, because it can definitely bite you in the butt. But yeah, Cade, to me, this is going to be on Cade. Like, Haskins is a tough runner, and he's running tougher than ever, but you still going to have to get chunk plays. Hopefully they can dink and dunk, and the running game is getting good yardage, and we are able to run on them consistently, so the pressure isn't on him so much. Like, I don't like Cade in a game where he basically has to do everything. I don't trust him that much. I'm just gonna be 100. He ain't showed me that he can win that game throwing for 400, throwing for 450. He's more of a 275, and we get 150 out of Haskins or Corum or something like that. Now, that's different. So I feel like that's the game we need to win, with Cade getting about 275, maybe 300, and we get 150, 170 rushing yards. Not us getting barely 100 yards rushing and Cade having to, you're going to have to throw for 350 or something like that if we barely scraping out 100. That's just likely what it's going to be, because you can only keep their offense down for so long. They execute. But that's pretty much it for the offense, bro. Like, Cade's going to have to get that 8-man out of the box. He's going to have to stretch the field. You ain't going to be able to just dink and dunk against these dudes. They're pass rush, they're linebackers. They're too good. You're not just going to be able to dink and dunk on them all game. Like, you're just not. You're going to have to hit some stretch plays downfield. You're going to have to do it. You're going to have to trust your receivers to make a play for you. You're going to have to put it in bounds, not throwing it out of bounds. You're going to have to put it in bounds and give your receiver a chance to make a play this game. Because we need chunk plays in the passing game. So their defense isn't having 8 in the box and Haskins and these dudes are getting hit in the backfield or getting 1 yard every time. So that's just what it is. Offense has to hit chunk plays and get touchdowns. And hopefully we can run the ball. I'm somewhat confident we can run on them, but I'm not that confident, honestly. I don't see it. Not without us hitting some plays deep to get that 8-man out of the box. Now, one last thing, with the running game, that run up the middle ain't gonna be it. You're gonna have to do that outside zone. Like that run up the middle, you might as well go on with that. That run up the middle ain't gonna cut it all game. You're gonna have to run some outside stuff. I would run that zone. I like that zone, outside zone, because it leaves cutbacks. It basically gives the running back 2 options. Okay, I can come around this edge and try to stay outside, or I can stay a little more patient and cut it back behind these blockers. It gives the running back 2 options, and it makes the defense have to worry about more things. They have to be more fundamentally sound to stop that outside zone. You running up the middle, it ain't fundamentally sound. We just crashing down and making a pile. You can't go nowhere. So that's just what it is on that. Honestly, unless we just running wild crazy in the run game, which I doubt we will, it's gonna be on Cade. It could be. I could have made this video 2 minutes. It's gonna be on Cade. Cade and the receivers. If Cade's actually getting time, Gaddis is executing, calling up good plays. Cade's throwing good passes. It's gonna be on the receivers. You got to make these plays. I'm gonna say it again. This is a game for playmakers. Cade, don't be throwing these sidearm passes against them. I don't know where you got that from. That ain't gonna cut it. CJ, you got to make these. You got to catch the ball. Look it in first. Corum, you get a pass out of the backfield. You got to look it in first. Know your assignments. Know your assignments and execute. This is a game for execution. Execute these plays. Know your assignment. Don't be giving up free rushers. Don't be getting hold-ins and false starts and all these things. Don't beat yourself. Your margin for error is so small. You can't be giving up free yardage, and you can't be putting yourself in horrible positions. First and 15s, most of the time, we already ready to punt. Because we'll run it on 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 9. We do that type of stuff. We just ready to punt. This ain't a game where you want to punt. I'm going to keep it 100. This ain't a game you want to be punting. The more you punt to them, the more chances you getting to get bombs away and your defense getting tired. So it's crucial that we sustain drives. Sustain drives and hit some chunk plays while we're doing it. And touchdowns. You kick field goals against them, you're going to get beat. So that's all I got for this one, y'all. It ain't much to say about. It's quite simple with the offense versus the defense, their defense. So hopefully Cade can get some big plays and execute and get big plays on offense in the passing game to create lanes for the running backs so they can eat. But that's all I got for this one, y'all. Like, share, subscribe, and as always, go blue.